I've missed so many opportunities to connect with people, to be present in important moments, to notice what God was doing around me, because I was too focused on the next deadline. Efficiency is good, but presence is better. Productivity is valuable, but relationship is more valuable. The seventh thing I understood was about legacy. I've spent years thinking about how I'll be remembered, what impact my work will have on future generations, but I realized that the only legacy that ultimately matters is whether you helped other people discover their relationship with God. All the companies I've built, all the technologies I've developed, all the problems I've solved, those things might be useful for a while, but they're temporary. The only thing that lasts forever is the human soul. So if I want to build something that truly matters, I need to focus on helping people understand how much God loves them and what He's calling them to do. Now, let me talk to different people who might be watching this, because I know you're all in different places with this stuff. Maybe you're like, I was successful by most measures, but feeling empty inside. You've achieved things that other people admire, but you're wondering if there's more to life than just solving the next problem or reaching the next milestone. You're asking yourself if all this effort is actually leading somewhere meaningful. I want you to know that the emptiness you're feeling isn't a sign that you're ungrateful or that you haven't achieved enough. It's a sign that you were designed for a relationship with God, and no amount of external success can fill that void. The good news is that God has been waiting for you to realize that. He's not jealous of your success or disappointed that you've focused on other things. He just wants you to bring all of that talent and drive into relationship with Him. Or maybe you're someone who's been struggling, who feels like you haven't accomplished anything significant. You see people like me talking about building companies and solving big problems, and you think that God must be more interested in people who can do impressive things. That's completely wrong. God isn't more impressed with big achievements than small ones. He's impressed with faithfulness, with heart posture, with whether you're using whatever you have, whether it's a lot or a little, to love Him and love other people. Some of the most important work in God's kingdom gets done by people who never get famous for it. Maybe you're someone who's been hurt by religion, who associates Christianity with judgment or hypocrisy or political agendas that don't seem to have anything to do with love. I understand that completely. I've seen how people can use religious language to justify behavior that's nothing like Jesus. But I want you to know that Jesus isn't like that. The Jesus I've encountered is incredibly patient, incredibly loving, incredibly focused on restoring and healing rather than condemning. If you've been turned off by Christianity, you haven't met the real Jesus yet, and He's worth getting to know, despite the ways His followers sometimes misrepresent Him. Or maybe you're someone who's been following Jesus for years, but you've fallen into the trap of making your faith about moral behavior rather than relationship. You've turned Christianity into a performance where you're trying to be good enough for God instead of resting in the fact that Jesus has already made you good enough. I want to encourage you to remember that God's love for you isn't based on your spiritual performance any more than it's based on your professional performance. He loves you because He chose to love you, and that choice is unchangeable. The most important decision I made after that night wasn't any single choice about my companies or my work. It was the decision to stop trying to manage my relationship with God and start trusting Him to manage my relationship with everything else. That means I still work hard, but I'm not anxious about outcomes. I still try to solve big problems, but I'm not attached to being the one who gets credit for the solutions. I still plan for the future, but I hold those plans lightly, knowing that God's plans are better than mine. It means I pray before making major decisions, not because I think God needs my input, but because I need His perspective. It means I read the Bible not like an instruction manual, but like love letters from someone who knows me better than I know myself. It means I look for ways to serve other people, not because it makes me feel good about myself, but because it's how God's love flows through me to the world. 3 days ago, I made the decision to put Jesus at the center of everything. My work, my relationships, my plans, my problems. It's the biggest risk I've ever taken because it means giving up control of the things I thought I could control. But it's also the safest thing I've ever done because it means trusting those things to someone who actually can control them.